One of the best ways to build wealth is through real estate. But did you know there's so many various ways to invest in real estate? You don't have to be buying buildings or buying land. You can invest in real estate in a number of different ways. And today, we're gonna be talking about the 20 different ways that you can invest in real estate. Now, the way we're gonna set this video up is the first 8 ways that we're gonna talk about are completely passive, meaning you don't have to go look at properties, you don't have to go fix toilets or see if the building is in disrepair. All you have to do is take your cash and invest in real estate. So you can passively invest in real estate, or you can do the opposite, which is active real estate investment. So that's when you buy rental properties or commercial buildings or houses so you can rent them out or flip houses or whatever else you want to do. So those are active ways to invest in real estate. So first, let's get into the passive ways to invest in real estate. The first one is crowd-funded investing. So you can look at companies like Fundrise, where you can invest your money into crowd-funded real estate. So all this is a pool of people putting their money together to buy different buildings. So Fundrise is a really cool option because you can buy single-family houses, you could buy commercial buildings, and you can invest in various projects of your choosing on their website. And you can start with as little as $10. And I'll leave a link to Fundrise down below. The next one is real estate notes. So you can actually become the bank for people who want to invest in real estate. So how this works is someone finds a property, they want to invest in that property, and they want you to fund the cash. And then the way this works is you collect interest every single month on that cash, and you set the interest rate beforehand. So you act exactly like the bank. So the pros to this is it's completely passive and offhand, unless for some reason someone doesn't pay their note, then you have to chase them down. But other than that, you're going to be collecting checks with the interest rate every single month. And if for some reason somebody doesn't pay you and they default on their loan to you, then you have the property that you can take back and seize as collateral. So if for some reason someone doesn't pay their note, then the property becomes yours immediately. Now, typically the interest rates on lending out notes are somewhere around 6 to 8%, right in that range. The third option that you have is you can become a hard money lender. And what a hard money lender is typically for people who try to flip houses or look to get cash in real estate really quickly before they return it back to you. You can have higher interest rates with this type of lending. And a lot of hard money lenders can charge anywhere from 10 to 25%. Now, the caveat to this is that the risk goes up typically when you're a hard money lender because you're dealing with people who are flipping houses. And when that happens, a lot of things can go awry. And when they run their numbers, they could go belly up. So you have to be working with experienced real estate professionals to be able to do this. The fourth way to passively invest in real estate is real estate investment trusts, or REITs. So REITs trade like a stock on the stock market, but it's a company that actually invests in real estate. So there's commercial REITs you can invest in, there's residential REITs that you can invest in, or you can invest in the mixed use, which are REITs that have a bunch of different types of properties. And REITs are a great way to completely passively invest in the market and allow you to collect dividends. So the dividends on REITs are usually higher than the traditional stock dividends. So you can find dividends on REITs anywhere from 3% to 10%. Anything above that 10% range is going to increase the risk significantly of a REIT. And I would say to do your own research, but you probably want to stay away from REITs that have higher than 10% dividends. The next one is real estate ETFs. And real estate ETFs are similar to REITs, but it's ETFs that actually track indexes of real estate stocks. So they trade like a stock and they're well diversified like an ETF. So this is a great option if you want more diversification in your portfolio. They also have REIT ETFs or index funds, which leads us to number 6. And REIT ETFs are fantastic because it's a basket of REITs all in one place with low cost that's going to allow you to invest in real estate just like a stock. The 7th one is stocks with real estate exposure. So some great examples of companies that are like this are Lowe's, has massive real estate exposure because as homeowners want to start to improve their houses and the housing market goes up, then companies like Lowe's and Home Depot do very well. Both Lowe's and Home Depot are fantastic stocks in my opinion, so do your research into those stocks if you're looking for stocks that have tremendous real estate exposure. Now, you can also look into home builder stocks, or you can look into construction stocks as well. All of these are backed by the real estate market. And the last passive option is that you can become a cash partner. So out there's a lot of real estate investors who want to put in the work and they want to be the sweat equity partner, and they're looking for cash partners. So what a cash partner does is they partner up with an experienced real estate investor. They provide the cash, and then the other partner provides a sweat equity, taking the phone calls from tenants, making sure the property is repaired in time, making sure the property is in good condition, all of these different things. And so to become the cash partner, it's typically something like a 50-50 split. So they do all the work, you provide the cash, and it's a perfect partnership. So now let's get into some active ways to invest in real estate. So the first one is single family houses. You can buy into single family houses and rent them out. And this is one of my favorite strategies because the tenants stay longer, they have a high rate of appreciation, and over time you can collect some great cash flow. And imagine how nuts the housing market is right now. The time I'm recording this, the housing market is on fire. So imagine if you bought one house per year over the course of the last 10 years. Well, you'd have 10 properties in your possession when the housing market is on fire. So you have options when you have single family houses because you could renovate them and put them on the market. Well, if you renovated and put 10 houses on the market that you bought one per year for the last 10 years, you'd be a multi-millionaire right now. So there's great wealth to be built within single family houses. And one of the best books, if you're interested in investing in single family houses, is called Building Wealth One House at a Time. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely check out that book. The next option is investing in multifamily properties. So multifamily properties, you can invest in small multifamily properties, things like duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, anything in that arena. In addition, you can invest in mid-level multifamily properties, anything from 5 to 20 units, or large multifamily properties, giant apartment complexes, things like that. There's so many options when investing in multifamily real estate. And in addition, multifamily real estate has tremendous cash flow. So if you want a higher rate of cash flow, then multifamily real estate may be perfect for you. The next one is mobile home parks. So with mobile home parks, you can actually make tremendous amount of money on those mobile home parks because they're extremely lucrative. You can collect money on the rent of the mobile homes and on the land of the mobile homes. And in addition, they're recession proof, meaning if there's a recession, then the mobile home parks are not going to have any issues whatsoever. So that's one of the great pros of having a mobile home park. Now, you want to look for mobile home parks that are in good conditions. You don't want to be a slumlord. You don't want to be somebody who's buying mobile home parks that are in bad conditions because that's just going to give you a ton of headaches. But mobile home parks can be very lucrative if you do it the right way and find the right park. The next one is storage units. And with storage units, you can buy storage unit facilities and collect rent every single month on those units. One of the best resources for investing in storage units is Nick Huber from the Sweaty Startup. And he's been doing this for a long time now and has a multi-million-dollar storage unit portfolio. So I would check him out, thesweatystartup.com. The next one is fix and flip, or flipping properties. So this is a way where you find distressed properties, you renovate those properties, and then you put them back for sale at a much higher price, and you collect the profit in between. Now, flipping properties can be complicated if you're just starting to get into it. So you need to understand what the repairs are going to cost, what the after repair value is going to be, meaning what is the price of the house going to be worth when you put it back on the market. And you have to understand your market as well so that you can be successful in flipping properties. Now, we did a podcast on the Personal Finance Podcast talking to Ryan Pineda, who's one of the best house flippers out there. And he talks through his entire strategy of how he flips houses. So I would definitely check that episode out if you haven't done so already. Number 15 is wholesaling. So wholesaling is a great way to get into investing into real estate, especially if you have no money. Here's how wholesaling works. You go find sellers who are looking to sell their property. A way to do this is to knock on doors or send letters or do a number of other things to get a hold of sellers and see if sellers want to sell their property. Once you find a seller who wants to sell their property, you two agree on a price. And once that price is agreed upon, then you find a buyer, usually a real estate investor, at a higher price. So say, for example, you find a seller who wants to sell their property at $200,000. Well, as a wholesaler, you're going to get a contract on that property. You're going to sell the contract to a real estate investor for a higher price, something like $230,000. And then you keep the gap between those two, the $30,000 between those two. That is how you can make tremendous amount of money on wholesaling, and it's how you can get into real estate with no or low money at all. The next one is one that we absolutely love here at Master Money, and it's house hacking. If you don't know what house hacking is, it's where you rent out parts of a house, or you buy an apartment complex and live in one unit and then rent out the other unit. So one of the best ways to do this is to buy something like a duplex or a triplex, live in one unit, and then rent out the other unit. What this does is it creates an amazing amount of wealth early on. Because A, you're either living for free or really discounted. You get the tax benefits of writing this off as a business, so all your home expenses actually can be a business cost, and you get the benefits of owning a home with appreciation and things like that as well. So house hacking is one of the best strategies out there, and I truly recommend it to every first-time home buyer if they've never bought a home before. The next thing you can do is invest in vacation rentals. So Airbnb, Verbo, all of these companies have skyrocketed as of late. And you can see if you've ever stayed in an Airbnb, you can make a significant amount of money by doing this. Now, the turnover is obviously very high every month. You have to schedule cleaners. You have to make sure the house is in order. You have to have tenants more frequently. So it's a lot more work, but the cash flow can be higher if you buy it right. And people who invest in Airbnbs can also get property managers in place who take a 20% cut every single month of the rent, but they handle everything for you. They schedule all the cleanings, they book the guests, all of those things. So there's passive ways to invest in real estate when you're buying physical real estate as well. The next one, number 19, is you can build a home on spec and sell it. So this is something that's pretty interesting, where you find a contractor, you buy land, and you build out a home, and then you sell it at the end. And people can make some tremendous amount of money, but you have to have some experience and know what you're doing, or have people around you who know what you're doing. But this is a very cool way that you can make some money, specifically if you're creative or you like design. This is a very cool way for you to get into real estate and enjoy what you're doing. Number 20 is to live and rent. So one great option is when you buy a house, what you can do is live there for a couple of years. And if you decide, I want to buy a bigger house, my family's growing, there's things that are happening in my life, well, you can rent out that original house that you bought. And you can do this over and over and over again. And over time, if you do this every couple of years, then you're going to have a large portfolio of rental properties that you built out from houses that you live in. You can also do this same strategy with the live and flip strategy. So the live and flip strategy is where you live in the house for 1 or 2 years, and over those 2 years, you start to fix up the property. So typically you want to find a house that's in distress where you can fix up the properties. Maybe it has crazy colors on the wall, or it has shaggy carpet, it has bathrooms that need to be remodeled, or a kitchen that needs to be remodeled. And you can do all of those things as you live there, then sell the property. And if you live there for over 2 years, then you're going to have great tax benefits where you're not going to have to pay taxes on the profits up to a certain amount. And then the last way that you can invest in property is with turnkey rentals. And what a turnkey rental is someone went in, they took the property, made it into a rental, ready to go with a tenant already in it, and then they sell it to an investor. So turnkey rentals don't have as high of cash flow traditionally, but it's a great way to get started where you can see exactly how this is done, how other companies do this, and you'll have a tenant already in place so you can learn as you go. So listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video with over 20 ways that you can invest in real estate. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. And if you like this video, here are 2 more videos that I know you're gonna love. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed so you get more wealth building content, and we'll see you on the next video.